how is it that this monster and this monster and this monster are all housed within the Alien franchise, but none of them are technically the titular Xenomorph? Well, that's because the Alien universe has an extended continuity almost as confusing as the films are horrifying. But before we let these chest bursters do their job, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Nerdstalgic for more videos just like this. Evolution is a core theme of Ridley Scott's haunted house in space film series. The original film existed as nothing other than a fantastic sci-fi horror romp for close to a decade. However, when James Cameron pitched the idea of doing a more action-heavy sequel to Fox execs, all bets were off. Thanks to a raucous critical acclaim and box office success, the Alien's fate was sealed. It was now the face of a Tinseltown juggernaut.
Get away from those hotties!
Unlike most franchises though, the Alien series is one you just can't kill, despite everyone involved attempting to at various points. Chief among these would-be alien slayers is Sigourney Weaver, the star of the first two outings. She agreed to return for a third picture only if both she and the slimy black reptilian monster could be killed off forever. Due to a rocky production, compromised reshoots, and the director being fired from the movie, Alien 3's attempt at a back-to-basics plot and a heroic send-off to the series' mainstay character did not land well with critics or audiences.
So I have to give it a thumbs down. This is probably the best looking bad movie I've seen in a while.
And so, it seemed the franchise would end as a trilogy. 2 amazing entries and a belly flop.
This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
However, H.R. Giger's design for the Alien just kept selling toys, video games, and comic books. So, 6 years later, the franchise got a soft reboot, Alien Resurrection. Now, here's where the franchise starts to get truly convoluted.
Who am I?
You're a sting. A construct. They grew you in a fucking lab.
After Ripley's heroic death in Alien 3, there wasn't an apparent way forward for the series. However, executives wanted Ripley brought back, which is how we got the supremely strange Ripley 8, a hybrid clone of Ripley and a Xenomorph. She has a killer instinct and acid for blood. Weaver's performance as the human-alien hybrid is one of the all-time strangest returns for a series protagonist, which seems like it would have been a great status quo for the franchise. The Alien Slayer, having to reckon with now being part of the thing she hates. But tragically, it wasn't. Despite a Joss Whedon penned script that would have taken the Alien franchise to Earth and rumors that Weaver had signed a deal to return for Alien 5, the next installment never materialized.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the f are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Where did Ripley 8 end up post-resurrection? Big screen viewers will never know. However, comics readers have an almost satisfying answer. Ripley 8 got a send-off in Aliens vs. Predator vs. the Terminator. The book shows Ripley 8 sacrificing herself to save the universe from a rising tide of Terminators. Is the story a bit hyperbolistic? Yes. Is it still fun to see a Terminator with alien skin? Also yes. And at least with this comic book, there is some level of finality to the character's cliffhanger ending from Resurrection.
So this is Earth, huh? It's my first time here.
I'm a stranger here myself.
After Resurrection ran aground, Fox decided to back up and try again, from a completely different angle. The Predator and the Alien have always been spiritually linked in the minds of monster fans and filmgoers, but it wouldn't be until Predator 2 that they were linked literally. The 2 high-profile monster baddies had been rivals in the world of comic books for decades. These threads would be paid off in Alien vs. Predator. While the film was critically maligned, it performed well enough at the box office and delivered a sequel, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, that most consider the worst entry in the whole interconnected web of films.
Are the monsters gone?
They're gone.
And here's where we get into the truly confusing area of the franchise. After the AVP failures, Fox approached Ridley Scott to see if he would be interested in some sort of prequel film to get the franchise back on its feet. Fox hadn't had a truly successful entry into the series since Aliens almost 20 years prior. Scott opted to do 2 soft reboot prequel films, Prometheus and Alien Covenant. But here's the thing, both of these films directly contradict the continuity established in the AVP movies, which take place in the current day and showcase fully formed xenomorphs. They also alter the franchise's timeline through the Weyland family line. In AVP-1, Lance Henriksen portrays Charles Bishop Weyland, whereas in Prometheus and Covenant, Guy Pearce plays Peter Weyland. To make things even more confusing, the protagonist of Prometheus, Elizabeth Shaw, is not brought back in Covenant, but rather for a digital web short that's intended to explain why she's not in the full-length film.
Shaw didn't die in the crash.
No.
What did you do to her?
Exactly what I'm going to do to you.
So basically, leading into Alien Romulus, there's been not one, not two, but 3 reboots of the Alien film series. And parts of all of them are sort of canon, but also not. Romulus takes place between Alien and Aliens. While it head nods to various in-universe elements fairly significantly, it can be watched as a completely standalone film.
XX-121 Xenomorph. One of our towing ships first made contact with this specimen 2 decades ago. Of the 7 crew members aboard the USS Nostromo, only 1 survived.
As for the whole franchise, AVP is mostly ignored. Alien Resurrection is also kind of ignored. The Ridley Scott prequel movies are also mostly going to be ignored going forward as far as hard continuity of what happened with David and the 2 Xenomorph eggs during the final moments of Covenant. Furthermore, when are we going to get answers to the Deacon, you ask? You'll never get an answer in a movie. You'll have to read the Dark Horse Fire and Stone comics to see that he eventually evolves into a mountain. Yeah, that's no joke. The Deacon turns into a mountain.
No one understands the lonely perfection of my dreams.
But here's where things get even more potentially confusing. The interconnected franchise of Alien has now grown to encompass the Blade Runner films. In the Alien 20th Anniversary DVD, the Nostromo's Captain Dallas is confirmed to have worked for the Tyrell Corporation. The most direct Easter egg comes from the Prometheus DVD, which features dossiers written from the perspective of Peter Weyland, where he discusses his mentor, Eldon Tyrell. In this fake journal entry, Weyland discusses Tyrell as a fool, describes his death exactly as it is in the movie, and mocks him for attempting to play God in a pyramid overlooking a city of angels.
Commerce is our goal here at Tyrell. More human than human is our motto.
To push things even further, many believe that the reason Ridley Scott has leaned so heavily into these Easter eggs was to allow Vickers and Prometheus to narratively function on multiple levels. Many believe that Scott intends Vickers to be a replicant. Look at how when everyone else is struggling to walk after being in cryotubes, she's doing push-ups. She has strength far beyond a normal human. Additionally, Weyland's antipathy for her within the literal text of the film is presented as misogyny. But if she is a replicant made from his DNA, this could explain why he obviously isn't pleased with his biological offspring. And then there's this moment.
You robot.
Notice that she gives a knowing scoff, almost pretending to be surprised, because replicants, after all, are more human than human.
This is a sick man!
I can see that. That's why he's not coming on my ship.
The simple truth is that the alien and its biological life cycle works best when the film they're in is a mystery. Each new sequence of the film reveals something exciting or unforeseen with the Xenomorph, and you just simply can't recreate that experience over and over again. Therefore, each new iteration of the franchise attempts to either do something wildly new or retread what's happened before.
Get away from her. You.
This spawns all these franchise dead ends and unfinished ideas. Ultimately, there are 2 distinct conversations happening here. The first is the fact that the actual prime Alien franchise spent 2 solid decades miscalculating what the fans wanted. The other conversation is that the Alien franchise is just so influential, people want to pay homage to it and riff on it, even when they're the original creators, and especially when they probably shouldn't. And well, that's all we have for today. What do you think? Are there other franchises we missed that are secretly in the Aliens world? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, like and subscribe for more Nerdstalgic videos just like this.